What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, possessed here by who knows what, who knows where, who knows when. And
Gersh 1. I'm not possessed by anybody other than the flaws of my past.
damn, that's deep. And welcome to For the Greater.
This is a video series where we really think about our lives and just get a little bit sad. But also answer your questions that you leave down in the comment section below. If you want your question answered, just put question in front of your question because we get those questions first. And that is what good old... that's not him. Oh, Kurt Gamer has done. Is the Emperor still conscious? And how does the Emperor's protection work? Does it affect probability, or does the Emperor create a barrier to protect or just destroy the enemy? So first, let's answer. The first question, is he conscious?
Yes, because we've seen Custodes, we've seen Sisters of Battle actually go into the throne room and talk to him and get answers. Gilliman also did it, Alicia, Dominica did it, and I think Bad Bunny has done it once or twice.
Yeah.
That's why he decided to paint his nails and stuff like that.
Try to do that gender fluidity thing that you guys all love. The best part about the Warhammer community is that it's not sexist at all.
Right. Super welcoming to any and all.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so he's conscious. Why he does not give more direct orders, I think, is a big question that GW is just not addressing, which is a good thing. Like we talked about in the previous episode, I think the more ambiguity there is within the lore, the more room for you to kind of create your own little thing. So you could have a chapter, like a homebrew chapter, where the what is it called, the chapter master spoke to the Emperor somehow, some way. I think that's kind of cool. If you want to answer the lore-wise why he's not speaking to more people, the Emperor from the beginning was all about letting humanity kind of do their own thing, and maybe this is his way of just going you know what, I purposefully was giving power to humanity. I'm going to continue that. I'm just going to sit on my golden throne and try to recuperate.
Yeah. I'm working on a little series where how the autonomy of the Space Marine has led to more bad things than good. And the major one that I've come across is the Bad Ab War.
Yeah.
You leave the Space Marines alone, eventually they're going to see something that they don't like. They're going to twist things into their favor, like using the Emperor's name as a means to take control of an entire sector of space.
Yeah.
So that also is what the Emperor wanted. He wanted the Space Marines to be autonomous. For humanity not really to get involved with that, because they're meant to be defenders, not active influencers, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which you would think he would be super against the Ultramarines then, because the Ultramarines are one of the most connected to their people, not friendly towards their people, but actual captains and chapter masters of some successor chapters of the Ultramarines are actual planetary governors.
Right.
So it kind of makes sense that when he spoke to Gilliman came back and was yeah, the what is it called? The
Ultramar sector?
Not the Ultramar sector, but what he created, the Codex Astartes. Let's put that to the side for now. And then he almost created his own little legion while he was doing the Indomitus Crusade. So it's kind of oh yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah.
I shouldn't give that much power to these to my Space Marines to control their humans.
Right. And we've seen how that went back in 30K. The heresy, obviously.
Yeah. And then also, if you notice, all the names that we mentioned, Alicia, Dominica, Gilliman, those are all individuals.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah, Bad Bunny, yeah, my bad. Yeah. Those are all individuals that step up and try to take control of, or take away inadvertently, the autonomy of humanity itself.
Yes. Alicia Dominica with Goj Van Dyer and basically the whole ecclesiarchy.
Yep. So it's one of those situations where the Emperor is conscious enough to be no, let the kids fuck themselves up. And then, with Bad Bunny. Yeah. Good question, though. And then to answer the rest of it, how does the Emperor's protection work? Does it affect probability? Does the Emperor create a barrier to protect or just destroy the enemies? It works in different ways. It brings back Saint Celestine.
Yeah, it brings back saints. Makes them near immortal. It protects the Sisters of Battle.
Yep.
Not Rosarius.
Well,
look at the 9th edition trailer. Was that a Rosarius, or was that the Emperor's will?
She held on to the Rosarius.
Yeah, her faith.
It's not her faith.
Her faith.
But also, yes, he does manifest his powers as a physical thing like that. That wasn't it, but yeah.
The Legion of the Damned could be another manifestation of the Emperor's wrath.
For sure, yeah.
Or some damned firehawks.
And then also just messages, kind of like most Chaos Gods, whispers into the night, or whispers while you're sleeping or something like that. Little lullabies that guide you through your life. I wish I had that. Next question.
This one's by Kurt Gamer. Did the Emperor mean to make the Imperium xenophobic? I think so. Because that all stems with the whole, like, humanity has to govern themselves. Don't let humanity become a cabal, a conglomeration of a bunch of xenos and humans working together.
Yeah, but then you can go back a little bit further and kind of analyze, like, was that because the first xenos that humanity encountered were orcs? And that, like, the first impression was, like, these greenskins are no good type of thing? So then, like...
That sounds very human to me. Like, humanity is super xenophobic. So I think no matter what, it would have been the case.
Oh, you're saying, like, just human nature is to be xenophobic?
Yeah. You're different than me. Stay away. That kind of thing.
Yeah, but you would think that, like, he's supposed to be the first man, right? So he's supposed to be, like, better than everybody. So you'd think that he would want to step up and be like, no, we can unify.
You would think, but I mean, the Emperor is super flawed. Even if he is the first man or however many shamans fused into one, he's not perfect. And we've seen that time and time again. And I think this is just another instance of that, like that little crack in the Emperor affecting humanity. Yeah,
I agree with you, but just to play devil's advocate, I will mention, like, there seems to be like a reoccurring theme with the Emperor where, like, he has hope that something, or he's very optimistic that something is going to go a certain way, and then he throws his idea out there and then it goes to shit. So for example, like, he thought that humanity could rule themselves and that a great crusade, or that the Great Crusade would continue and humanity can govern while he was doing the thing. It didn't work. The Primarchs got all jealous. He thought the Primarchs were going to be able to, like, maintain loyalty and do their thing. Didn't. Horus got corrupted.
Yeah.
And I think, like, with the whole xenophobia, I feel like the Emperor thought, like, humans are naturally xenophobic. They're naturally, like you said, they try to push away from anything that's different, no matter how similar it is. But he had hope and optimism in the form of abhumans. You had the squats, you had the beastmen, you had, I think there's 24 different abhuman species that were okay during the the Great Crusade that weren't, like, pushed away until later. So it's one of those situations where, like, the Emperor understood that there are other creatures that are different and it's okay to work with some of them. And then he gave that agency to humanity, and humanity just fucked it up. So maybe it's not the Emperor who intended humanity to be xenophobic. Humanity itself was just, like, fucked up.
Damn devil, your advocate good.
Oh.
What about you guys? What do you think about that? Because, yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah. Next question.
This one is by Iraq88. Do you think GW will ever release official Guevesa models as Tau auxiliaries or other auxiliary races?
I really hope so. I don't think they will, but I've seen some conversion work on I think it's Daka, where you take an Imperial Guardsman, you shave the back off, and you shave the back off of a Fire Warrior, and then you just glue the two pieces together. But
yeah, I don't think so, because I feel like GW, when it comes to the Tau, it's just mainly Tau.
Yeah.
I mean, when was the last time we got any Vespid love, any Kroot life?
I know.
Yeah.
Except for that whole mercenary faction in 5th edition. Those were the glory days when GW was not scared to, like, go into the Xeno stuff.
Damn, it's almost going to be 5 editions later.
Yep.
10th edition is right around the corner. Year and a half, maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
And then last question. I got an easy one from Brian B. Is 1 + 1 = 11?
Here's the thing. No.
Yeah. And those were the questions for today. Well, we can answer one more, I guess. A 50K question.
Ooh.
Kurt Gamer, will there be a 50K? If there will be, what do you think would want to happen?
Nothing.
Well, the cool thing is that there's an entire playlist.
Yeah, we have the death of Warhammer 40K, which is essentially the end times of 40K leading into a new 40K, which is pretty much what happened with Age of Sigmar. Yeah. And I think just like what happened with Age of Sigmar, they have to play it very carefully. Because a lot of people were in love with Warhammer Fantasy, and seeing that get replaced with something unknown really drove many people away.
For sure.
So Warhammer 40K going into Warhammer 50K, they have to play it very niche. I would almost say keep it similar to how we have a Horus Heresy and a 40K, and then have a 50K, but I don't know how well that would work.
Yeah, no, I think adding a third one would kind of like be not so great. And I think that if GW, they're doing good with the additions, keep the addition concept around. If they ever jump to a 50K, I think that is going to be like, it's going to hurt sales for a while. Like you said, because of what happened with Age of Sigmar. Mm-hmm. Age of Sigmar is actually a better game.
Yeah, honestly it is.
But less people play it because they're still butthurt. Well, not because they're still butthurt, but because it took people away.
Mm-hmm. Not just that, but let's say you had a whole like elves army in fantasy. You can't use that in AOS. Yeah. But honestly, because we did say this was going to be the end, but let me go into a little tangent. If you do start a Warhammer 50K based on the playlist that we have, the Death of 40K, GW can easily do a whole awesome launch with it, because in that version of the Death of 40K, the main faction that would arise is the Death Legion and the Saints. The Death Legion, obviously there's no official models for that, so we're going to get some pretty awesome spooky Space Marines that have like that bone and like dark aesthetic to them. And they could bring in Saints, aka the Dead Primarchs, as a means to benefit off of like Ferrus Manus, which obviously they couldn't do that in 40K because he's dead, but now he's back as like a saint of the Emperor. So right off the bat, you've got a faction right there with tons of potential of new models, and you have named characters that people love, Sanguinius, and any other like Alfarius, maybe Conrad Kurz, coming up as a different aesthetic from what they had in 30K, which in my opinion sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and it brings back the grim darkness because these are all saints, and like it gives you this like old Catholic type of like bleeding saints and treachery, and like what we were talking about in a previous episode of like what is grimdark. Mm-hmm. It's what is it called? Amoral and after like apocalypse type of thing.
Dystopian.
Yeah, dystopian.
Yeah, hopelessness, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. But
check out the playlist because that would kind of give you a glimpse as to, because it's a long.
Yeah, it's like a 2-hour thing if you put everything together. Yeah. I talk about the Imperium, I talk about the Eldar, I talk about Sisters of Battle, so Tau, Orcs, that kind of thing.
Even Bad Bunny makes an appearance.
A little bit.
Yeah. He has a different name, but it's Bad Bunny. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Don't forget to put question in front of your question. And if you've made it this far, also put Bad Bunny after the question, just to see.
Right. Yeah. And with that being said, I have been the Sound Alchemist.
Tertian.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.